All right, as we continue our year in review, I am now joined with Angela Brooks-Trotzig, CEO at the Lloydminster Interval Home. So thank you so much for taking the time and sitting down with us today. Let's get right into it because it was a big year for the Interval Home. You guys have always been a part of the community, but this year there was almost more initiatives to get the community involved. You guys hosted your first ever Breakfast with the Guys, which was really successful. So can you tell us about that and some of the other initiatives you guys did with the community this year?
Yeah, sure. So this year we decided to do something a little bit different with our Family Violence Prevention Month initiatives, which of course November is Family Violence Prevention Month. So this year we did our first ever Breakfast with the Guys, where we invited men in the community to come in and talk about gender-based violence and kind of what they understand about it, what they know about it, and hopefully do a little bit of learning. And we had a great turnout, and all the men that came for the short presentation stayed to have a discussion amongst themselves about you know, how they may or may not have been impacted and how they can actually make a difference and speak out against gender-based violence. And the feedback that we have gotten back has been really amazing. There's been amazing impact made by just having one breakfast and allowing the conversation to happen, and we're excited to have some further initiatives kind of roll out of that initiative as well into the new year. So we'll be kind of planning for more actually. That's just great. From that initiative. And then we had our Youth Lead Change YLL, which was kind of the same purpose or same scenario as Breakfast with the Guys, but it was just youth. So we got youth together and asked them to kind of talk about what gender-based violence means to them, relationship violence, and how it impacts them, and how they can actually lead change in their peer groups. And really all of these initiatives were around leading change. And it's an overall initiative that we are doing at the Interval Home called Leading Change Lloydminster. And it really is about having the discussion, opening the discussion about gender-based violence, and in particular how the male voice can be brought into that discussion, and you know, with a really unique vantage point. We also had a community conversation cafe, and so that was bringing the community together, kind of the same purpose, having a conversation and how we can make impact against gender-based violence. So yeah,
that's great to see. And another big focus for the Interval Home is the elder abuse. This is obviously an all too common issue still. So what are some of the initiatives you guys did for elder abuse in the community?
Yeah, so we actually probably in about beginning of 2017, maybe spring 2017, we got together with a group of agencies in the community who all have an interest in reducing elder abuse. So this isn't just a Lloydminster Interval Home initiative. It's a community-based initiative that brings together organizations who are interested in learning more about what's happening surrounding elder abuse in our community and making a difference. So we actually put together a grant proposal and received some money to do a deep dive and learn what's happening in our community about elder abuse, because how can you fix something when you don't really know what's happening? So rather than kind of just jump in and try to start fixing things, we started with a really comprehensive needs assessment. We were able to identify gaps in service delivery, but also in community collaboration. So as a group, we're actually called the Lloydminster Elder Abuse Prevention Committee, so otherwise known as LEAP, and we actually are working towards reducing elder abuse in our community. So we've done all the hard work of learning what's happening out in the community. The next step is to impact it. So that's what we're looking to do in the new year. So we're pretty excited to be working as part of the group that's trying to make a difference in elder abuse.
Definitely. And can you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges you guys faced this past year as an organization?
Yeah, you know, being a nonprofit is always challenging because you're fundraising and you're relying on government grants. So that's, you know, nothing new to the Lloydminster Interval Home. Unfortunately, over this last year, we've continued to see a rise again in our turn-away numbers. And so essentially what that means is we are too small and we don't have the space to accept the people that are requesting coming into shelter. So as of October 31st, we are turning away, and I don't know how you half a person, but the numbers are 4.5 people per day. Yeah, so rounding that up to 5 people per day. And we're projecting to see about a 21% increase over our turnaways the previous year. And that's just strictly due to lack of space. So certainly that is our biggest challenge and the one we are most focused on over the coming next year.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. So I just want to thank you for coming in, and hopefully, we see more great things next year from you guys at the Interval Home. So thanks so much, Angela, for joining us today.
Thank you.